Welcome back. Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrived in Israel today as the Trump administration tries to ensure the U.S. brokered peace deal between Israel and Hamas stays on track. The White House is also speaking out against a symbolic vote by Israel's parliament to annex the West Bank. Natalie Brand with more today from the White House.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Thursday as part of the Trump administration's ongoing effort to preserve the peace deal.
I'm here now today because this is a priority. It's a very important achievement, but there's more work to be done and bigger achievements that lie ahead.
Hours earlier, Vice President JD Vance left the Middle East optimistic the ceasefire will hold.
It's very early, but it's a good start.
But he also criticized a symbolic vote by hardliners in the Israeli parliament to annex the West Bank, land Palestinians want for a future state.
If it was a political stunt, it was a very stupid political stunt, and I personally take some insult to it. The West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel. The policy of the Trump administration is that the West Bank will not be annexed by Israel.
With momentum in the Middle East, the administration was hoping for progress with Russia and Ukraine, but President Trump is no longer planning a second in-person meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
A meeting between these two leaders is not completely off the table. I think the president and the entire administration hopes that one day that can happen again, but we want to make sure that there's a tangible, positive outcome out of that meeting.
Less than a week after the president's phone call with Putin, new Russian strikes targeted civilian sites, including a kindergarten in Ukraine's second largest city. The administration imposed new sanctions on Russia's two largest oil companies, saying Russia lacks a serious commitment to a peace process. Today, the EU also piled on new sanctions.
We waited for this. God bless, it will work.
Putin downplayed the impact of the latest sanctions and said Russia will never bow to pressure from abroad.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt also said today President Trump has, quote, grown increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress from both sides of that war.